everybody, SONGOSHUAKU'S here, and welcome to this breakdown review discussion for Dragon Ball Super Broly trailer number 3. But first, make sure to hit that subscribe button followed by hitting the notification bell so that way you are notified as soon as my content is released. Now, I know in the last review that me and the Linux virus did, we said that we were not going to possibly do a trailer 3 breakdown, but since there was really no spoilers, that's right, I had to take the risks for this, that basically led to me going like, okay, we can do a review. Now, the Linux virus was not able to join me due to his busy work schedule. However, I am proud to welcome Obvious and Mediocritis. So, what is up, guys?
Hey, what's up? I'm glad to be here. Yeah.
We're here. We made it.
Finally.
Made it on time.
Yes, finally. It's our first time collaborating, so you guys definitely look for me. I'll be on their channel sometime soon coming up. But I appreciate you guys taking the time to come over here to my channel to break down this review with me. And you guys basically also, Mediocritis has been one of my bestest friends going back to the time we were in high school. So it's been almost nearly 13 years. And the fun fact is to hear about Dragon Balls. When we first met at like 16 years of age, basically she didn't know what Dragon Ball was. She was just getting, I think she had just getting into anime, so I actually started her out on Bardock, the father of Goku, which ironically is what a lot of this movie's going to be about, and she got to see the entire series from that to Dragon Ball to Z to GT, and eventually went on to Super for the most part, a little bit of Super, but yeah, the really cool thing is Mediocritis got the experience that a lot of Dragon Ball fans didn't get out here. She got to see the story chronologically basically together, so that was one of the really awesome things. Like for example, Obvious, what about you? Did you start off on Dragon Ball, or did you start off with Z and had to go back?
See, the crazy thing is, I saw one episode of Dragon Ball. That was the first time I've ever seen anything Dragon Ball related. Didn't know what it was, and then I got started on Z because I had the VHS tapes, and then from there, I think I did go to Dragon Ball to watch that. So yeah, definitely start off with Z like most people.
Good old VHS tapes,
Yes.
huh? Gotta love them.
I think I had the Saiyan Saga first.
Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and break down the trailer here and just talk about certain things. So you know, it's so much to keep track of. I used to go ahead and write all the notes out hand by hand, you know, word by word of what was going on, but there's so much action to keep up with. So I'm just gonna play the trailer here in the background. No music obviously or sound, so we don't get copywritten, but we'll just go through some of the gorgeous shots. All you guys out there who've watched the trailer, you've seen it. So yeah, what we got here? You know, you had all those beautiful explosions and Goku Super Saiyan Blue, and we got Vegeta Super Saiyan God, you know, facing Broly, and Frieza destroying planet Earth there. So if we just start off with that first part of the trailer, what I like is Frieza. It looked like they fixed Frieza. One of the biggest complaints in the second trailer was, why does Frieza have this weird pink armor but none of the Saiyan armor, and like that's not how he looked in the original story. So Frieza basically has the original Saiyan armor on, and now he looks more consistent with what was in the original. So I'm glad they decided to fix that. Now, how these mistakes happen, I do not know. As we all know in Dragon Ball, there's this big case of continuity issues and plot holes, and it's like, does anyone look at this and everything? And yeah, Trunks' hair, different colors, blue, in the original manga it's purple, sometimes it can be pink, red. It's like, come on. So with that said, and guys, I don't know if did you guys tend to have a fuss about it when you were watching it, or when you saw second trailer? Did Frieza look off to you?
Honestly, I didn't really notice too much of that. I was more so like, I'm not the biggest Frieza fan, so whatever he does, I'm just kind of you know, that guy being evil again.
You
but
sound like the one that Frieza would call a monkey. Just had to throw that out there.
Definitely, but I would have to look at it again and see if he was really, you know, that off.
Yeah, I really didn't notice. I mean, I was more so looking at what else is going on versus just those small details, which I guess is major details to everyone else. So
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
when you see
I
something.
kind of feel bad now that I didn't notice.
Now you won't look at them the same again.
It was one of those just minute details that was like contradicting the story. People were like, what the heck? But they fixed it. It happened similar in Kami to Kami, which was Battle of Gods out here, where Gohan was fighting Beerus as a Super Saiyajin, and people were like, whoa, where's the ultimate form or the mystic form? And they were like, oh crap. So then they changed it to the mystic form. So, but it's like, how does this stuff why is it? It just shows you how a lot of the hardcore Dragon Ball fans, it's like they know the series sometimes better, remember better than the creators. And Akira Toriyama has stated in interviews that he forgot. You guys remember Launch?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people wonder what happened to her. And
I still want to.
Well, when they interviewed Toriyama, are you ready? He said, "Oh, I forgot about her."
That's
That sounds
terrible.
about right.
So it's like the fans are putting them in check.
Exactly. You know, we hardcore Dragon Ball fans a lot. We have to create this thing called head canon, where it's like, I guess to make it make sense, this is how it happened. But, you know, with just one sentence or two, it'd be nice if the creators come out of this. But I've mentioned this before. But yeah, I thought the explosions look good here. You know, as we go through this, we might as well talk about the animation. Now, I'm very interested, especially Mediocritis, to hear your thoughts on this, because when the first teaser drop with Goku bouncing around, you were very outspoken to me, saying a lot of whatever, big deals, yeah, sure, when they said a new threat greater than ever, like, yeah, we heard that how many times. So to give you guys the little update here, animation wise, Tayoshi Yamamoto, he was the animation supervisor for many years when it came to Dragon Ball, and in that, a lot of people felt that his animation style sort of became dated for Dragon Ball. They felt characters looked too rigid, just too rigid, basically, too many sharp points and everything, and they felt the series needed to have a breath of fresh air. That's where Norihiro Shintani, he came in. Now, Shintani worked on, famously, what was it, the One Piece Z-Film, was it? I think it was called.
Oh, no wonder that. Okay.
Yeah, and
that looked amazing.
Yeah, he was very much praised for his animation, and he came in for this movie, and he's taken the series in a much more different, where the animation is so much more fluent. That's why the colors are a lot more simplified. It's just dark, light. Then you have certain animators like Takahashi, who came in and took Dragon Ball Super by a storm, because Dragon Ball Super didn't have the best rep when it came to animations for quite some time, because they had really terrible work schedules, that even the best animators, there was only so much they could do in a short period of time. And Takahashi came in there, and he had all these different layers of shading that just made the characters look incredible, and he hasn't gotten away from that. And I mentioned before in the previous trailer reviews that Shintani knows how popular Takahashi is among the fan base for his animation style. Like, a lot of what you saw in that Goku and Jiren fight, he was responsible, especially towards the finale. So that's, if you wonder why it looked so amazing, because Takahashi and several other tremendous animators came in on that, and they've brought in all the top dogs for this animation. And this new animation style, because it is a lot less highly detailed shaded, it makes it a lot easier to animate, a lot more fluent animation. And one of the biggest things that's been talked about is the animation. Sean Schimmel, just a few days ago before we recorded this, he started the dubbing for the English version, and he was saying, can't say much, but did my first day of recording, and what I can say is the animation is visually stunning, and that's something that's been heard from a lot of a lot of people who have insider news and rumors and everything, insider sources. They've been saying the animation is top notch in this. With what you've seen in the trailer, I'm curious, Mediocritis, have you turned a new corner towards the new animation style? Have you been impressed and blown away by the animation of what you've seen? And I'd love to hear your thoughts on the animation as well, Obvious.
Definitely. I've looked at this third trailer multiple times, and I'm actually very impressed of just like the power-ups, and like you could tell like the huge explosions and stuff like that. Yeah, it actually looks really good. So, yeah, it looks pretty good.
Oh, it's awesome to hear you say that, because I just remember your reaction when I showed you Goku bouncing around in the in the on the ice. So it's nice to hear Shintani has won you over, as I thought he would with many fans. I actually wasn't feeling it at first. Like, I like the fluid animation. Yeah, the first the thing is, I like the fluid animation, but I like detailed shading, you know, especially from an art standpoint, because I'm an artist as well. I like the detail, more shading. But once I finally saw everything fully in motion, how these characters react, I was like, I'm sold and everything.
It's beautiful. It looks beautiful, honestly.
Absolutely. And Obvious, go ahead. What you were going to say in terms of the animation?
Oh, so it looks absolutely amazing. It's crazy because towards the end of Super, the animation, everything just got so much better that I think we all forgot about how bad it was in the beginning.
Episode 5, Goku versus Beerus. Oh.
Dark times.
Dark times.
Man, oh man.
No going back, huh?
But it's funny, I didn't know that about One Piece Film Z, because that's considered one of the best, probably the best One Piece movie. Strictly.
Let's not start One Piece.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Uh-oh.
But no, it's funny how that relates to this, and then I have high expectations for this now. But honestly, like, they started off within the first second of this third trailer, there's explosions. Like, that's how you do it, first off. And then it just gets better and better from there. And honestly, I had to go back a few times, just look at Super Saiyan God Vegeta, because he looks...
My favorite part in this trailer is the false promise, the false hope that they're giving for Vegeta.
Exactly.
I don't even care. False hope for Vegeta. I don't even care. I'm slamming him right now. I used to be a huge Vegeta fan, but I think...
Oh my. I'm just finding this out right here in the recording. See here, after you were done talking, I was about to say, so to get the audience invested, Mediocritis has always been a huge Vegeta fan, used to. But this is interesting. You said the words "used to." What happened?
Yes, I'm just getting tired of him being thrown around like a little bitch.
Yeah, he's held too many L's. Way too many L's.
So many L's. It's just like, come on, Vegeta. Didn't you guys say Toriyama doesn't even like Vegeta?
Well, it was stated once in an interview that Toriyama did not like Vegeta, but however, he since have come around to it, and that's why he's been giving Vegeta. I mean, this whole movie is
still giving him the full win.
This movie,
he's part of the win. If that, okay, that's great. Okay, Yamcha, part of the win, I guess.
This movie is heavily based around Vegeta. This movie's all about him, Goku, and Broly. But yeah, you know, it is funny that even though he's giving Vegeta a lot, he even dedicated a whole episode to Vegeta and Jiren before he gets to the Goku.
To Vegeta, out of how many though? How many?
But you know, it lead back to when I started covering Dragon Ball Super in these podcast style videos. The first one I did with Little Miss Undead, I had stated it's the the status quo or something. I said it was no. It was the what was it? What was the phrase I used? It was the pecking order. Yes, it was that. It's like, you know, it's like that. And yeah, a lot of people are ready. How bad? To be fair, as we go through this trailer, Goku's, as Linux Virus would say, Goku gets his share of bodying in this and everything.
Oh, his face is just going up against the ice.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that one. Oh yeah. But you know what? I've mentioned this. Mediocritis, you can rest assured that I think that old movie trope they would go of Vegeta showing up with a cool entrance and getting beat up, I believe that's going to Frieza. Frieza will now apply the role of getting the worst beatdowns. Guys, it's been months and I still can't get over how Toppo did him with the punch to the gut, and when he squeezed Ryusei Nakao. Voice actor Frieza did a tremendous job just through the way he did the screams, like
I enjoyed every minute of that. Frieza definitely deserved that beating.
So I don't think Vegeta's getting the worst beatdowns, but yeah, let's go continue.
Not the worst, but he will get a beatdown. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah.
Which we said in the theater.
The trailer says the three of them are directed by Fate, and they even did the cool thing with the ice, Goku and Vegeta on the ice, and you know, Goku's basically saying he believes that's the guy. Little thing here, logic. Why does don't get me wrong, I think Goku and Vegeta's winter coats look awesome. But
Yeah.
as soon as they get there, they take it off to fight Broly, and it's kind of like, what was the
What
point?
was the point of having
Exactly. What is the
one?
point? Like, are they gonna like? Why not fight in the ice? Like, I'm very interested to see what it's like. It just doesn't seem like it's counterproductive. And not only that, Goku and Vegeta are seen fighting with their shirts off because Goku and Vegeta really get messed up from Broly. So it's like,
Oh, apparently he got warm or what? He pretty much he was cold at first and then he just so happened to get warm and that's why he had to take off his stuff.
The thing is, they're Saiyans, so do they really need that extra layer of protection from the?
I mean, I'm just trying to give them some benefit of the doubt here on why he would have it.
But
I don't know.
Honestly, I would get that jacket or that coat.
I didn't really think it looked that cool. I don't know. From a female's perspective, I didn't think it looked that cool. But if you guys thought it looked cool, I'm not knocking.
I like that long
that.
trench coat style that Goku had, but I don't know.
I think if I thought it looked cool, it's because it's nice to see something different. Like I mentioned when I did the art discussion with Mac Dillingham, I love Fakatsu no F, which was Resurrection F out here. I love the new outfits that Goku and Vegeta had. It like sort of played a homage to their previous outfits in Z, but it was something different, and that's so much of what I want in Super. And I'll talk more about that towards the end of this discussion. Is I want new stuff in Super, but instead they went back to their Cell Saga designs. And it's like, it's cool to see something new. Yeah.
Do you think, so from this trailer, does anyone think that coat like flew off and hit Broly in the face? Anyone? Anyone here?
Why not? I would laugh my butt off if they do that. Why not? Let's throw some comedy in there. Even the way they animated, Goku's just standing still. And it's like the coat just comes off by itself in typical fashion. But
he's like Doctor Strange in his cape. All right.
Yeah, it's really cool. So we get the whole cool shots of Broly fighting, and he has this mouth blast, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah,
that was something different. We're used to Dodoria. I'm looking the aura power-ups like Mediocritis said earlier. Those power-ups look tremendous. They're doing a really great job. Shout out to Anime AJ on here, who breaks down the animation line, and I thought he really put it best when he says he likes that even though they're using these CGI auras, it doesn't take away from the original art. He didn't like a lot in Super how the auras would get so messy and everything. Like, yeah, the aura looks cool, but it takes away from the original art. Here, the auras, I think, just blend in much better with the art, and allows you to still appreciate the art as well as the computer effects. I'm looking here at our first shot of our Goku, and if you guys hear like computer noise in the background, mouse clicking, that's because I'm going through this trailer and looking at it, just so I don't make sure I don't forget anything. The cool animation of Goku, yeah, that sick shot when Goku and Broly flies towards each other, and Broly hits Goku in the stomach, and Goku just goes flinging up in the air. Sick stuff.
Yeah.
And we get to this shot here, and this is what Mediocritis is talking about, them L's, them Vegeta L's. So we get our first look at animated Super Saiyajin God Vegeta, looking cool with the aura. And what do you mean by behind?
He's just now obtaining Super Saiyan God.
Like, that was last season, bro. Come on, keep on up.
Well, here, let me catch you up. In the manga, Vegeta actually was the first to, in the manga version made by Toyotaro, who's Toriyama's successor. He was the first in the manga because the manga and anime
That's not Toriyama.
Are different. Well, Toriyama writes these little tiny manuscripts, and everyone else chooses. The animation chooses them. The manga artist Toyotaro chooses them. But he made Toriyama made or was it Super Saiyan God Vegeta is the first to come up with the concept of going back and forth between the God form and the Super Saiyan Blue form, which they didn't do in the anime. Goku's the first one to go ahead with that. But Vegeta actually had achieved Super Saiyan God. We saw for the first time during the Universe 6 arc. In the anime, they're just now doing it.
Why is it that Goku was still surpass him regardless of what he does?
Well, see, Toei Animation feels that you can't sell anything without Son Goku. It's always got to be Son Goku. It's very similar to WWE for the longest. Yeah, exactly. It had to be always John Cena until now, because Cena's got big moves in Hollywood. But this scene where Vegeta looking real cool with the aura, Broly's walking towards him. Vegeta punches him, boom, right in the face, and you get that shot. Vegeta's like, oh, I'd effed up now. where Broly's just looking at him like, get that out of here, and bam, punches Vegeta, sends him flying into a mountain. And that's how Super Saiyan God Vegeta's probably making his debut here. Yeah, that's what Mediocritis was talking about. What about you, Obvious? Are you tired of seeing Vegeta get bodied, and that's just the way it is until Goku comes in for the save?
Yes, it's not even like the fact that Vegeta is getting bodied. Just everyone else but Goku is just saving the day no matter what.
Right.
At this point, we all expect Vegeta to just talk a big game.
I like Trunks better. I would rather see Trunks in there than Vegeta.
If we can get, Trunks back after some years of... Actually, he doesn't even need that much training. He already caught up to them.
Man,
Yeah.
this is awful to hear. Like I said, I've been friends with I've been best friends with Mediocritis for like 13 years, and she was always such a big Vegeta fan. And now it feels like Toriyama has killed her passion for Vegeta. It's like when I talk to the Linux virus. You know, he doesn't keep up with WWE anymore as much as he used to. So I'm like, has Vince McMahon killed your passion for the product? Oh my! It's terrible to hear this. But hey, Goku gets his share of L's. It looks like in this movie, the shot here where Broly just rams his head right through the ice, and that is directly a callback to the original Broly movie. If you guys remember the shot where Broly grabs Gohan, and I know Mediocritis had to love that. She was not a fan of Kid Gohan.
No,
even during
definitely not.
So funny. Even during the Cell saga, when I was telling her like he gets really cool with the Super Saiyan 2, I always felt like she came off like this, like it's kind of cool, but I still don't care about him. Yeah, she's one of the few people on this planet. Like I said, she has very unorthodox opinions. While most of the fan base hates the Great Saiyaman, she loves the Great Saiyaman and doesn't like.
Cool. I don't care.
She dislikes SSJ2 Gohan, which the majority of the fan base is like, that's the Gohan I want back. Did you ever know that, Obvious? Did you ever know that about me? Man, I'm getting you guys' names are so similar. It gets me messed up, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. She told me, she liked Great Saiyaman, but I had
better than green jumpsuit Gohan.
Oh, you can agree with there.
That boy. I think Krillin did a better job than him in that movie.
Bogus.
Yeah, but that's one thing. I don't know.
I show up in my green jumpsuit.
Maybe he'll make an appearance.
Fight.
I hope he does show up in this movie.
Green jumpsuit.
It makes me wonder how did because I know she was a big fan of Juhachigo as well, who we know is number 18. Did you like her pink jumpsuit in the Tournament of Power?
Oh, you know what? That one, I'm sure you saw it, Mediocritis, but that didn't really. I don't know. It seems like
if you've got to struggle to say the question so bad, that must mean something's not right.
It's just one of those things. Like everyone's, she has a family and she's relaxed. That's
she's no longer pointed. No, I just had to point it out because I'm like, if you have to struggle that much, I'm like, oh my gosh, hey, I admit I didn't I wasn't a fan of it at first, but like you just mentioned, and I mentioned this with Matt Dillingham, is that it's more apparent of what she is now, a mother. So in that sense, I get it. You know, she's not going to be like when she was a rebel teenager or close to like a rebel teenager. But at the same time, I also realized that basically I had made the joke at first, though, that she looks like a mother that just got up at 6 a.m. in the morning and going to go for her routinely jog around the block. What were you going to say, be obvious?
You look like a gym teacher. But still, she could be a PE teacher, but also I don't think her pink tracksuit is as bad as Gohan green jumpsuit. I don't care.
Yeah, he looks.
I'm a
skinnier.
hardcore Andra 18 fan, so she's cool no matter what she wears.
Yeah, she got a lot of love in that tournament before she eliminated. She dang near saved the universe. I mean, saved the Dragon Ball fan base when she finally eliminated Ribrianne. But yeah, getting back here on topic with the film. Let's see what we got here. We got our first look at Golden Frieza. Like I said, I expect Frieza to get completely bodied in this. You know, just from we saw that in the first first trailer they released when he's like, his power level is magnificent, and he just gets a belly blast. So at least Vegeta's not gonna get it the worst.
We'll see about that. I don't know.
Oh,
what if Frieza get knocked out like super quick, and then next thing you know, Vegeta has to take his beating from his own beating.
It looks like Goku. Well, Vegeta looks like the fact that Broly has to power up into higher forms, it looks like Vegeta and Goku are at least going to push him more. We got some shots of Piccolo. We know Goten, Trunks, and Bulma will be in this film, and I'm pretty much sure they'll be there for comedy relief. You got Beerus looking very distraught or about something. And then we got here where a lot of the fan base was really wondering. So here we have Whis coming in on that destroyed-looking planet, and Broly, I think, flies right towards him, and a lot of people are wondering, are we going to get Whis versus Broly? Now, I don't think they're going to do this in the film because they're not going to bury Broly. That's a very type of thing you would get now in like WWE. You would hype this person up and they come onto the main roster nowadays, and this is probably one of the biggest reasons that Mediocritis doesn't watch WWE anymore. You know, they build this person up for so long, and in their first match they're defeated and owned, and it's like, how can you take this person seriously? And you know, I don't think they're gonna do that in this film because we know Whis would destroy Broly easily. And enough of Whis and Beerus, and like I mentioned this, Goku, he's got the best plot device. If all else fails, and we saw that at the end of the Trunks arc, if all else fails, he's boys with Whis, Beerus, and Zeno. They got his back, which kills the tension in this Dragon Ball Super series.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that's just trickery. He might show up, but I don't think they're actually going to have him fight. It's been stated by people behind the scenes that it was stated in synopsis that Whis and Beerus can't get involved. Hopefully they don't. Before I move on, what do you guys think? Do you guys like to see Whis, who we know is overpowered as heck, make a fool out of Broly in the beginning of this movie?
Oh, they're gonna come up with some lame reason why he can't fight them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna have something to do with their training. He probably wants to see them really be pushed, but because we know he can come with the shovel and basically just bury Broly. That's not a staff, that's a shovel. But,
exactly.
I mean,
but would you guys actually even want to see Whis go ahead and humiliate Broly when he's the main antagonist of this film, and we want to have some sort of tension here?
Only if Goku is just about to, kill him, and then Whis jumps in with the Kamehameha and kills him instead. So that the only time.
Oh boy. Yeah, and then I'm trying to think what else do we have here too with this. I was gonna say that's another thing, tension in this series that I've mentioned a lot when it comes to Dragon Ball Super. In case I don't know if you both are aware, Dragon Ball Super takes place in the 10-year time skip of Dragon Ball Z. So everything that happens in Super all leads to the ending of Dragon Ball Z when Goku and Oob lead the 27th Tenkaichi Budokai to go off and train. So no matter what happens in this movie, we all know Goku and Vegeta and all his friends, for the sake of continuity, are at the end. So are you guys aware of that?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So there we go. Maybe it was good you forgot about it, because now you can go in this film like, okay, so we know whatever happens, Goku and Vegeta will be fine because they were alive and fine and well at the end. So that's the thing. That's why after this movie, I hope Dragon Ball goes past to that. But I'll leave that more towards the end. So in the trailer, we also have, let's see, I got their character names right. I'm trying to remember. I have my notes written out. Like I said, guys, a lot of stuff to keep track of. So the new characters, Sheila and Limo, and of course Sheila is the green female part of Frieza's army, and Limo is the orange fighter, the orange fighter part of the army, and that's where they were talking about he's fight, I think the line is he isn't fighting because he wants to fight. She's talking about Broly. So she's they're two of the new characters in the series, and I remember you were telling me before we started recording that you weren't familiar with these characters because you haven't kept up with all the Super Mediocritis, but yeah, these two characters are new characters in this movie, so you're good there. And the thing about all we know mostly about Sheila's character is she has sympathy for Broly. She apparently does not like what's being done with Broly in this film, which can easily be speculated. They're going with the whole storyline again, where in the original movie it was the headpiece that his father used to control him. Here it seems to be a neck piece. So I think she's gonna play a critical part in this film and towards Broly getting free of that. So that's pretty much what those characters are gonna be there. And everything. So yeah, what do you guys think about that? If that's the first time you've heard of what this Shile character, apparently her role in the movie is going to be something that she has a lot of sympathy for what Broly has gone through in his life. What do you guys thought? Do you find this to be a very interesting plot point heading into this movie?
Honestly, yeah, because I feel like we still don't have too much on Broly. Like, even after watching all the movies and things like that, yeah, we have some sort of background, but to get some more, I guess, regarding his mental state and how he became that way, that's definitely going to be good. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just give me some more, background on Broly, because right now he's just some kind of brainless beast in a way.
Well, they're really hyping him up similar in the movie, because we haven't heard much dialogue from him. They're really hyping him up to that fan base that is similar, that knows the old Broly. So I think when you go see the movie, we'll see the new side of Broly. And before we even get to your thoughts, Mediocritis, I should go ahead. One of the biggest things, I would have wanted a new Saiyan. I didn't need Trunks back. I didn't need Frieza back. But Dragon Ball's become so much. Like I mentioned when they revealed the name Broly, I was like, yo, Toriyama has tapped out to the popularity of Broly. Bardock was the only character that he ever put into the official continuity of the story, but it finally happened. The popularity of Broly was so popular, Toriyama finally tapped out and decided to go ahead and make it. But I appreciate that this was the most effort Toriyama has put into Dragon Ball in years. He wrote up to 3 hours of a script, and they had to take out half of that to narrow it down to 140 minutes so they could fit it into a movie. So we're not even going to get the full story here of what Toriyama intended, but the fact that he went out of his way and he rewatched all the movies so he could put something together and make Broly more interesting, I think it's really good, because I know me and Mediocritis talked about this throughout the years in high school, because we were aware that so many fans talked about how much they loved Broly, and I think she as well. We both saw Broly as he's cool, but we don't think he's the end all be all. And I think you as well thought the story, and I'm pretty sure just about everybody thought the whole idea of Broly's backstory, where he because Goku cried more than him, he cried, and therefore he wanted to destroy the entire universe, was just really stupid. And here now it looks like Toriyama's given him a much more sensical story to really get behind Broly, with it being that his power was getting too strong, so his father, King Vegeta, exiled him from the planet and everything. So I think it's a much better story this time around. And I wanted to ask this: are you interested in this aspect to see? Do you feel like Toriyama here is making an improvement to the Broly character, the Broly story? Goku in this trailer even says that I think he mentioned that I can tell you're not a bad guy. And this is a very interesting line that people are interested in. We've had a couple of hints here now, especially with the story and the way it's being presented, as if Broly is a very sympathetic character. So it turns out he might not even be evil. And I've stated so many times already in a lot of these reviews, I believe Broly is staying. I don't think Broly's winning in this movie, but I don't think Goku and Vegeta's winning. I think this movie's going to end in a tie, because they brought Broly back, just like they brought Frieza back. It's here to make money. They want to make money, and the best way to do that is to make him a recurring character. But I was going to say this, is that, see, with Frieza, it's tough, because it's like, how do you justify him still being evil but being able to stick around? But if Broly's a good guy, then, and he's just going to end up being an ally, then it's a lot easier to write him. So with all that information, what do you think, Mediocritis? Do you like the new direction that Toriyama's taking Broly in? Do you think it's an improvement over the story as compared to that Broly who was really cool in the first movie and sadistic, but he became this Kakarot monster that always, I joked about, like Dee Dee from Dexter Laboratory. That's all you can say. That's all you can say? With all that information, what's your take on the new direction that Toriyama's taking Broly in from what you've seen in the trailers?
Yeah, no, it's definitely better compared to like Bio Broly and stuff like that. Of course, we gotta bring Bio Broly into
That was the
this.
best one.
You're lying. We know you're lying. Don't ever say that again. But yeah, no, it's like finally it's getting some type of personality. But I just figured maybe it is mind control. Possibly.
That's what it was in the first one. But we do see when
they probably would keep it with that, possibly the mind control thing for this one, maybe.
Yeah, it definitely looks like the direction they're going in with Pericus. But we see that Broly is still acting pretty sadistic and crazy even once that neck piece is off. So I am very interested to see that part in the story, to see where this ends up going. I know I don't think Pericus is leaving this movie. I think Pericus
is he bipolar then?
We gotta see that the fact that we can speculate on this, we gotta see exactly what's going on here. What about you, Obvious, as well? What's your take on the new direction of Broly?
I think it's great. Like, honestly, Broly was already one of the most popular characters. Everyone loved him before all of this, and we knew his background. He basically, went crazy because Goku was crying too much, and other things happened too. But even with something as simple as that, we still love this character. So it kind of begs the question, did we even need more background on him or anything added? But, I mean, I guess it's still cool, though. It's only going to make him even more popular, I think. And it's very interesting that you think that it could possibly end in a tie. Because, yeah, it would be great to have him come back and maybe even change at some point. Or, if they can fix, like, his mental state. That'd be very interesting to see, because if they continue the series, they're going to need someone pretty powerful other than Goku and Vegeta to be on their side. And, Frieza, we saw what happened to him. So
yeah, me and Lyrics had already talked about that's the big money fight right there. Broly versus Jiren. They want to make a big impact for if Dragon Ball Super returns to a weekly episodic thing, or series. Then first episode out, Goku, Broly versus Jiren. That's gonna get a lot of people already. Like two of the biggest alpha males in the history of this franchise going at it. People are gonna be like, "Shut up and take my money," and everything. But yeah, it's good to see everybody is thinking that this is definitely an improvement, and yeah, they have to rewrite the story because they're bringing him into the official continuity. And I always get I think it's funny how there were a lot of people though that did dislike Broly because they thought his whole concept was stupid, and people they didn't like how people would misinterpret his line about his power overflowing and him needing to release his body as if his power goes on and on forever, so he's stronger than every character. Well, Broly officially leapfrogged everybody now, so that's what it is here. We had some really cool scenes of Goku, like the shots where Broly just does like this green energy blast that splatters all over the area and it blows up. Was really cool.
Yes.
All the cool animation, like they use CGI for this one where Goku and Vegeta are just messed up and they're flying all over the area facing Broly. Now that green aura where it's like this green force field and it's like a hurricane is circling around Broly. Beautiful. I can't say how gorgeous this looks like. Just the animation here is top notch. I love that shot. That was really cool. And then they had the CGI of Vegeta and Goku back to back. Like Vegeta looks like he's in his Buu Saga outfit where I think they're doing the Galagun and Kamehameha, and it's clearly CGI and they unleash it towards Broly. I'd like to get you guys' thoughts on this. A lot of complaints often I hear, especially with a lot of modern day anime, is that there's too much reliant on CGI. But the idea with CGI is it's once they create the models, it's really faster and quicker to animate stuff. And this animation's been praised, the CGI, and this has been praised, that it looks a lot better than the ones that was in Battle of Gods or Resurrection F. When you guys were watching this trailer, did the CGI, particularly when Goku and Vegeta do their Kamehameha Galagun combo attack, did that distract you, or did you think it blended in nicely with the animation?
Honestly, when I saw it, I didn't even think it was CGI. Like, it was done so well.
I don't know. I noticed, like, it did look different, but it didn't hinder me from still loving the trailer.
Right. It looked really good. And I have no problem with them, continuing with using that, or even other anime if it's done that well. Yeah, keep it coming. Especially if it, reduces the workload on like anyone working on that series.
Oh yeah.
So we can get more of it.
Definitely. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. I like I was saying, I watched Anime AJ, and he brought up a good point. He says when it's being done in shots that are moving quickly, like far away, like Goku and Vegeta flying around all over Broly in the sky, he's like, it's good for that. But he's like, in stagnant shots where the camera's panning up close to him, he feels it kind of takes away. But what you guys said is a lot in line with what a lot of people are saying. Is that regardless of your thoughts on the animation, the CGI, I feel like it is a huge improvement over the past couple of movies, and I do think it blends in pretty well. They look as good as the graphics in Dragon Ball Fighters, which is a lot of people say is the best looking Dragon Ball game out. So I think I think that's pretty good. Have you seen that, by the way, Mediocritis? Have you seen the Fighters graphics?
No, I have not.
Oh wow. I'll send you a link to the trailer. The animation is tremendous for the game. I know our friend Linux Virus, he loves it because it's the first competitive Dragon Ball game, so it's being taken serious, where it was actually at EVO, and he loves it. And then the trailer ends with this iconic shot. Of course, they had to do the epic shot where Broly's powering up, his fists are together, and they're doing that panning shot where the camera pans up when he reaches what's now going to be called as full power Super Saiyan. No more legendary Super Saiyan, not even Berserk like Kel. Personally, I don't know about you guys, I think just calling it full power Super Saiyan is generic, but yeah, full power Super Saiyan, which is what Goku already attained against Cell. Fun little fact, Mediocritis feels that Goku versus Cell is the most boring fight in Dragon Ball history.
All of the things go against the norm.
Oh man, yeah, I remember every time I showed her that fight.
And someone could have beat Cell, and it could have been over with, but whatever.
She always fast forwards to
I don't
the
like
part.
when fights drag on when they could have been finished.
And yet she liked Goku. She liked the not the Kai, but because I don't think she hasn't watched Kai, but she liked the original Dragon Ball Z version of Goku and Frieza, which was far longer. But
well, no, it's just if that person can if a person can destroy someone, it's like, why would you not just destroy them? Why are you leaving it up to someone else? And the world is at stake here. That's why I don't like.
Are you talking about the idea that Cell didn't power up until after he met Gohan, or the fact that when you found out
no, just like Vegeta and stuff like that. I think
when he's semi-perfect Cell,
I don't like stuff like that. If you can beat that opponent, then go ahead.
I never asked you on that part. So was that one part you didn't like about Vegeta, his arrogance there in that part?
I really did not like that.
Wow, it's the first time I found out, but that's one of the reasons. Yeah, there's a lot of dumb decisions in the Cell saga where they could have killed one another, which can definitely hinder it.
But I saw that part where he was fighting Cell way back. I was actually watching on the Spanish channel because I wanted to watch it so badly. And I saw that, and that's the first time I really stopped liking Vegeta.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll never forget that.
I think same thing with Gohan. It seemed like he was getting a little bit cocky.
Yep.
And he's, that's why I did not like Gohan. Because I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Beat him. But I guess I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that, possibly. But
I'm just gonna rage.
A lot of fans didn't like Gohan getting arrogant and everything, but they just loved how awesome it was when he beat up Cell. But definitely getting back on the trailer, we get that last shot of Broly powering up to his full power. That just iconic Broly looked really good. They did the animation where he bends down and charges towards the camera, and the animation is so amazing that I wouldn't be surprised if that was animated by Takahashi, who gets really super detailed with the shading, but he was able to keep all the muscles and everything perfectly proportioned, and was able to draw that in such fluid animation. that looked epic, and that's going to probably be towards the end. And we see it will be in theaters January 16th, 2019. So yeah, that's the whole trailer shots and stuff. And you know, incredible, really incredible stuff. I'm glad to hear you guys like the animation. Before we wrap things up, usually I wrap things up with basically talking about our predictions of what's going to go down in the movies. Now, you guys are aware of the big special character that's been highly speculated to be in this film, which he did not make an appearance here, and that was one of the reasons I was so glad when I took the risk of watching trailer 3. Are you guys aware of the special character?
I think I heard it was another Saiyan, right?
Yes, definitely. And what about you, Mediocritis? Are you aware?
No.
All right. So with that said in mind, are you guys okay if do you not want to be spoiled? That's what I say before I mention it.
You can go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll ruin your enjoyment. Okay. So once again, if anybody does not want to be spoiled, this is the part where you can leave the video now stop listening now. If you want to continue to hear our speculation on where we think this movie is going, continue on listening. I will have links to all our social medias in the description below, so that way you can find it before we go into our plugs. With that said in mind, as I mentioned to you, me and my friend went to go see the double feature, Bardock, the Father of Goku, and Fusion Reborn. Well, we know why they would show Bardock, but what is it about Fusion Reborn that they would want to re-educate fans on or introduce new fans? What possibly happened in movie 12, Fusion Reborn, that would be such a big deal? They even showed the original Broly movie in theaters. You guys got any guess of why they would want to show Fusion Reborn?
Because it's gonna go down in this movie.
To get you guys caught up, data. This is the spoilers part. Data mines for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 were leaked when the first Broly trailer came out, and it showed there was going to be a new version of Broly and a new version of Gogeta. But the thing is, Broly and Gogeta are already in the game, so why would they need a second version? And since then, people have been speculating that it's going down in this film. Gogeta is also going to become part of the official continuity, and I didn't want to watch the third trailer because I was like, I'm pretty sure they're gonna spoil this, because you know we see so many times in movies they spoil a big plot point that you felt would have been nice to just see in the movie theaters. Like, oh my, it was such a pleasant surprise. You know, we see that in trailers all the time, and I would rather, if Gogeta is indeed, which with all I've heard from the behind-the-scene aspects from people who have credible sources, it looked like it's going down. But thankfully, they chose not to spoil that in the movie. And I like that, because like I said in my second trailer, I want to go into this movie shocked to see they actually really went there. They actually went there and released Broly and actually made Gogeta. So they did a really good job. They're making the trailers make it seem like it's impossible for Goku and Vegeta to win. But here's my prediction, and I'll let you guys go into your prediction as well. So it's almost a given that Gogeta is going to be, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get this discussion done before I think this Friday. And this Friday in Japan, they're showing the world premiere, just exclusive to certain people in Japan. So spoilers are gonna be out all over the internet. I mean, I gotta avoid this thing for 2 months. Oh, that's gonna be a tough one. Yeah, full spoilers will be out, and then they're gonna have another world premiere in California out here for America, and then finally December 14th, I believe the Japanese version will be released nationwide in Japan, and then we'll get it in the North America for January 16th. But that's being said, I still stand by what I said at the end of the movie 12. I mean, not at the end of the movie 2 review. My speculation is Broly's full powered form is too much for Goku and Vegeta to handle. They're gonna do fusion, become Gogeta, and Gogeta's gonna basically whip the crap out of Broly, but serve as a plot point to weaken him. Gogeta basically will then, they'll go to that same tired trope of the fusion wears off before they could finish him. I know it's basically confirmed that if Gogeta's in this film, he's getting more screen time, and I think Broly's going to deliver a final blow, and that's where that final blow, what would be the final blow, is going to trigger Goku's full-powered Migate no Gokui form known as Ultra Instinct. We're gonna hear what's his name, Sumitomo, who does the music score. I know you love that theme, obvious, the with the violins.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. We're gonna hear a cool orchestra version of that. Goku's gonna go full Ultra Instinct, and I think him and Broly are gonna clash, but it's gonna end in a draw. And what happens at the end of the movie, I believe Broly escapes somehow, because like I said, I just don't think they're gonna kill Broly off in this movie. Or maybe we get a surprise twist and Vegeta kills him. Yeah, right. But yeah, that's what I see going down. I think they're keeping Gogeta a secret. They're keeping Ultra Instinct a secret. Shoot, looks like they're even keeping Vegeta's blue evolution form a secret. So I think we're going to see these things in the movie for sure. That's my speculation now. It's going to be interesting to see once the movie comes out how much I'll be wrong or how much I'll be right on. I'm going to try my best to avoid these spoilers all the way till January 16th. So that's my first part of seeing the movie. Let's start with you, Mediocritis. What's your prediction for how this movie is going to end?
Let's see. Frieza for the win? No, I'm like, actually, you gave a very good prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you probably said it right, to be honest. I really don't have much of a prediction here, but I could see that your prediction was actually pretty good. So,
how about you, Obvious?
So I had a bit of a different prediction.
Oh, okay.
That you did.
So I know we have the fusion, we have Master, Ultra Instinct. I highly doubt this will happen. Well, actually, I have some faith. We might get a Mastered Ultra Instinct fusion between Goku and Vegeta if they have to use all that power to beat him. But they might just save that for the series later, when they're fighting a new threat. Because that just seems like way overpowered.
We're talking about Broly here, so...
Yeah, I mean, he could, handle both of them, and they're god forms. He didn't really power up, so...
Yeah, look how messed up Goku and Vegeta are before he even goes Super Saiyan. Yeesh.
So I don't know. I just don't think I'm kind of with you on that one. There may be a tie, or they may just pull an Infinity War and have some continuation later on. But I'm not too sure. But I would like to see some Ultra Instinct fusion. That'd be great.
Yeah, there's been the speculation, is Gogeta going to be a Super Saiyan Blue form? Is he going to be an Ultra Instinct? So, yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, I just don't see them killing Broly. It looks like Dragon Ball's about making money now, It looks like they're not really caring too much to go past the end of Z and create new characters, and that goes into what I want for the future of Dragon Ball Super. This fan service, it's like being a kid. When you're a kid, you want video games, you want toys, and you get that gift box, you open it up, and it's a sweater, and you're like, thanks, yeah, I mean, I didn't want this, but it's cold outside, so it at least on the bright side gives me something to wear. That's what this is like. I didn't ask for Broly, I didn't need Broly to become part of the series. I wanted a new Saiyan, I wanted a new story, I wanted to go past the end of Z so we can get some tension in this series. I want to see new characters being developed. I like to see Goku and Vegeta take a backseat and sort of become like, if you guys are fans of My Hero Academia, see Goku and Vegeta take that All Might role, something like that, and we focus on new characters like maybe like Midoriya, his journey to becoming, the greatest hero. Let's start seeing Oob's journey to sort of replace Goku as his successor, as the way Z ended. I want to see characters like Trunks and Goten finally grow up. Oh my gosh. They
Yes.
literally, guys, they screwed the timeline up. We're like 3 years before. If you guys remember in DBZ, Bulma said it had been 5 years since she's seen Goku, and we're like 3 years before that, and Goten and Trunks are gotten smaller. Gosh, man, just annoying stuff like that. I want to see tension brought back into the series. Like, once we get past the end of Z, like, oh, okay, now anything can go down. Like, oh, Goku and Vegeta, like, what goes down? What is Toriyama's real version of Dragon Ball GT? Stuff like that. That's what I want. But they went ahead and played it safe. They threw Broly's name on the marquee. Now fans are gonna flock towards the theaters to see it, and it's cool. Yeah, it's fan service. We got the Ginyu Force in here. We got Kinko. We got Frieza. We've got so many things, but it's just, as a fan of this series, I've loved this series for the past 20 years. I want to see new characters develop. It's just like, as another WWE hardcore fan, they spend so much time recently. You know, they recently had The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement, Kane, Triple H, these 4 guys main eventing pay-per-views, and it's 2018. Like, yeah, these guys were great, just like characters like Broly were great. But I want to see these guys take a back seat. I want new characters. I want the series to do new ideas to advance towards the franchise. But
Someone's asking for a lot. I don't know.
You say, hey,
someone wants a lot.
you said what? What you say?
Someone's asking for a lot.
A lot.
Oh God, they probably dislike fans like you. Like, oh my God, they want this, they want that. Why do they want all this? So how much money and time it's gonna take us?
We give you Broly.
Just give you Broly and flock to the theaters and stuff. But see, fans like me who want to see the series progress, let's face it, you know, you can only build off of nostalgia for so long. You know, you can only do that for so long. It's time, and that's why I like what's going on in the Rocky series now. You have Sylvester Stallone taking a back seat for Michael B. Jordan as Adonis Creed in the movie. Can't wait for Creed 2 coming out soon after this recording. And I like how it is. I love that role. In Rocky, he's not the focus in the franchise. He's a mentor. Just like I want to see Goku become a mentor. And then let's get Oob in there and make him like Adonis Creed in the movie, where now it's focusing on the newer generation. That's what I want to see. And that's what they're doing with Broly. And like I said, I would like to see characters like Janemba, Baby.
Yamcha have a kid that grow up and be mad.
I'm waiting for Toriyama to do the ultimate troll move. That's what I want. At the end of the movie, Yamcha comes in. Hey guys, I learned a new technique. Ultra Instinct, Wolf Fist, and he kills Broly. Oh man, the fans are gonna riot all over, and Toriyama's gonna be like, I saw those memes online, but look what I did now. Yamcha's the strongest, and now Zeno bows down to Yamcha. He could do it if he wants to. You just gotta come up with some BS power out of nowhere. Said, well, it turned out Yamcha had, and he'll be in an interview, because Toriyama, when people ask him, how did these characters get so strong out of nowhere, he usually goes, well, Frieza had a lot of potential. He just never trained. Well, 17 and 18 had a lot of potential because they have cybernetic attachment. So he just throws on the line, well, Yamcha actually had a lot of potential. He just never really put his mind to it. But once he put his mind to it, he realized he could attain powers even greater than Ultra Instinct. And that will result in the fans responding like, what? Get out of here with that.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, but Toriyama, he has the power of the pen. He can write it. Whatever Toriyama writes goes. That's the reason I can't blame. Shout out to Geekdom 101, one of the most hardcore and knowledgeable Dragon Ball fans out here. He says there is no canon because it's basically whatever Toriyama writes, and it's whatever he changes. So I can't blame him for doing that. And let me just say, I respect Toriyama. I really do. You know, I love you know, what Toriyama has done, the work that he's done to create this Dragon Ball series. But when you're as hardcore into this series as I am, and as many hardcore Dragon Ball fans, you just can't help but take a look at some of the explanations given in the series and be like, what, you know, head scratcher? But yeah, if you guys see where I'm coming from with Dragon Ball, like
Mhm.
it's nice it's gonna focus on Broly, but it's like, what can I look forward to in this? Like the story seems like it might be interesting, but if it mucks about plot holes and continuity, that might, a lot of fans are going into like the story seems fascinating, but they realize if it mucks about things too much with what we've been told, the story might not end up being that good. So it's like the biggest thing to look forward to in this movie is the action, and you always know, Mediocritis, I love the action, you know, when it comes to Dragon Ball, but I also love, and particularly a lot of animes, I like good morals and messages that I can relate to back to life, and it looks like this story is going that direction, but if there's too much mess in the story that mucks about everything, it's like, well, all I got is the action, and I think that's the biggest thing that I know for sure going into this film. The action and animation, we don't got to worry about. It's just, my whole thing to this is just please be a good story, and if the story is good, I'm confident this will be the greatest Dragon Ball movie in history. So hopefully that's my whole take. And what about you guys in terms of the history of Dragon Ball, and maybe that's the reason why, Mediocritis, you've kind of gone down a little bit on Dragon Ball over the past few years. What would you like to see to get hyped up about it like we were when you were in high school, and everything? Like, what would you like to see with the franchise? Because I know there's one reason I wanted to have you on there. Like, do you feel that Super and Dragon Ball in this direction is lacking something? Like, you even told me that you figured you'll come see the movie with us because you've seen all the other movies, but there was very little that initially made you interested. And I'm thinking, like, why torture yourself like this?
That's a tough one. What for it to be like as hype as how it used to be?
Because I imagine something's gone down with the Dragon Ball franchise in the series that hasn't made you, enjoy the series as much as when you first showed it. Now, maybe that's part of me, because I know once we watched DBZ, I used to make all those like video game retellings of it. And so I admit I did spam Dragon Ball Z onto you a lot, to the point where you're like, I think I've kind of gotten tired of it now. but yeah, what do you feel is lacking, and do you like the new direction of how they're bringing back old characters and focusing so much on nostalgia, or would you like to see the series go in something new and fresh?
See, I want both.
Okay.
Like, I would like to see old characters, them bringing back characters that people may have forgotten about, whether depending on the personality, where it was like their comedy relief, or if they're just serious and they bring them back and don't forget about them. But then also bringing in new characters. I think it is like My Hero Academia. They do a good job where it's just like they're not just, you don't just see them focusing on Deku all the way. They like to actually, they show you what are all the characters doing.
Yeah.
And so I like seeing that. Like, it just isn't just, one or two people. This is so heavily focused on. It's like, oh yeah, you get to see the life of this person or what this person did in a mission. But I still do want both them to progress with new up and coming characters and have, different personalities and stuff like that. But then also still, if there's some way in there they can fit in certain characters that used to be important, or even characters that weren't important, that would be nice. So they do need to make sure their story, their plot, there's no plot holes and stuff like that, just trying to tie that up.
You're the one asking too much in Dragon Ball. No plot holes.
I'm asking too much. Get out of here.
Oh yes, plot holes.
I'm not asking
we
too
can't
much.
have Dragon Ball without, there's gotta be one plot hole.
Get out of here. They can minimize it though. If possible, they can minimize it.
Yeah, I don't know why all these years in the franchise, I don't know, does Toriyama just not does he not just care enough to if someone is suggesting, like, has there been no editors? There's so many fans out there that can fix things with just one or two sentences. That's why I like Battle of Gods so much, because I'm like, how is Goku breathing in outer space? And that was not explained in Battle of Gods, but the one thing that was like, how is Goku still fighting evenly with Beerus as a Super Saiyan? And they explain explained that and I mentioned this before previously. They mentioned that Goku can he mentioned that his body remembered the Super Saiyan God power, and that's why he's still just as strong. And like, thank you. Just a sentence or two to explain, so I'm not getting confused in my mind is all I ever asked for. But seriously, Mediocritis, that was very well said. I thought you hit the nail right on the head. Obvious. What about you? What would you like to see for Dragon Ball going in the future? And do you like this direction they've taken it in?
I have to agree with Mediocritis. It would be nice. Just give some of the other characters just spotlight just for a little bit. Let someone else have a big impact. Or if it, I know this is definitely asking a lot. You mentioned having Goku take on a role of maybe like an All Might. You know, let him get older. Let him, get so damaged or something that he can't really, be the Goku that we all know. I mean, yes, he's the face of Dragon Ball, but we need something else, like to please us old time fans and for like the new fans. It's kind of been like the same old, thing. Like, yeah, you could watch it, but at the end of the day, you know what's gonna happen.
They get the Dragon Balls and everybody's back.
I would love for them to get rid of the Dragon Balls entirely, but then we would have it would just be
really now.
Well, you know what I said at the end of my review of episode 131. You might as well call it Whis Super now, because when Whis brought back Frieza, you don't need the Dragon Balls anymore. It's all about Whis, and yet we still see Shenlong here. Like, literally, what are they gonna ask Shenlong in this movie that Whis cannot do? And just to reiterate for those of you that only follow the Funimation dub, Shenlong is the name in the original Japanese version, and Shenron is what they call the dragon in the English dub for Funimation.
But,
Whis can turn back the hands of time, so literally he can. So
yeah, it's like no matter what happens, it's like you mentioned before, the tension it's gone. Like, introduce characters, but don't give them that much power. I mean, there has to be some drawback. At this point, it's like if I was in Dragon Ball myself, I would keep killing myself over and over again just to see how they would bring me back next time. And just
and they got me when 17 blew up in the Tournament of Power, because like, wow, this is smart, because we don't see 17 at the end of DBZ. He's one of the characters they could actually kill off, and he's still there. But I actually thought it was a pleasant surprise. 17 and Mr. Junagano Lapis, he ended up being the and for those who are not aware, once again, if you haven't followed my Lapis and Lazuli is 17 and 18's real name. But the thing is, he ended up being the MVP. I cosplayed 17 at ASIN Anime
Great
Central
job,
2018.
by the way.
Oh, thank you, appreciate it. And I can't tell you, I was called, hey, it's the MVP. No one, very rarely was I referred to as 17. I felt like instead of the MIR, I should have just put MVP on the show, which was a great surprise. Like, that was a really great surprise, seeing 17. Like, we didn't get Vegeta getting the big moment, but hey, I gladly accept 17 getting the big spotlighted moment. So
It's not 18.
it's not 18. Well, shoot, at least she made it as far as she did toward the finals.
Still wasn't 18. Still wasn't 18 though.
Well, shoot, that's most we've gotten. And of course, if there is one thing left to be done with Vegeta's character, let him get that big win. But I like I said, that's probably definitely way too much to be asking for.
I think that is number one asking too much.
There's a lot that could probably be way too much asking for here in Dragon Ball. So yeah, before we wrapped up, let's I was gonna talk about some of the voice actors we've got here. So like in the Japanese version, we got Mazuko Nozawa. I think it's incredible, killing it. There's some fans out there who don't like her voice. Of course, there's a lot of hardcore fans who grew up on the Japanese version that do like her voice, but this woman is in her 80s and still screaming her butt off, and she's a legend in Japan. So I think just her being able to still kill it in her 80s is tremendous. We've got Sean Schemmel coming back as Goku. We've got Sonny Strait coming back as Bardock. I listened to that Bardock Father of Goku dub, and oh my gosh, the 18-year-old dub, it definitely sounds outdated. Like, they mistranslated stuff. They changed stuff to try and make it seem like Bardock was a little bit more of a sympathetic was a nicer character than what he actually was. So I hope that it gets around to being redubbed. But just like some of the way that the voice acting was in that, like in 2000 compared to now, oh man. So it's gonna be really good to hear his Bardock again. We got Ryu Horikawa once again as Vegeta in the Japanese version. Chris Sabat is back. Frieza, Chris Aries. This is another tremendous one. I mentioned Ryu saying was Frieza in the Japanese version, but in the English, Chris Aries. Are you both aware of the health problems Chris Aries has been having for over a year now?
No, what's going on with?
So Chris Aries has a rare disease that is attacking his I forget if it was his liver or his lung, but I think he's working off and someone in the comment section, if you're listening, go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's working off like a quarter of lung capacity, 25% lung capacity. And the fans did all band together to raise the money that he needs to have the surgery, but despite all this, on 25% lung capacity, this man is still in the booth playing Frieza with such a serious illness. 25, and you know there's a lot of screaming in Dragon Ball, so he's working off a 25% lung capacity, and he's gonna do this high energetic performance as Frieza. I have all the respect in the world for this man. Man, just like that's his dedication to Dragon Ball. And that's the reason why I feel like it is important to give a knowledge to the people that work behind the scenes to put all this together, because I mean, this man is on 25% lung capacity and he's still busting his butt to try and deliver the fans a tremendous performance. So I just think it's amazing. We're gonna have Aya Hasakawa, who will be playing Bulma because Hiromi Suru passed away, unfortunately. So she'll be the new Bulma in the Japanese version. Monica Rial returning in the English dub. So, and we got Pericus in the Japanese version being played by Kazuhisa Hoki. Sorry to pronounce that wrong. He's coming back. The original voice actor Kayumi, he passed away. So Hoki has been the one in Japanese version, so I'm looking forward to hearing his performance. Damian Clark, who did Perfect Cell's voice, he's also coming back as Pericus. I think he even did Toguro in the English dub, so I'm looking forward to hearing him back. So we got a whole stack Japanese and English cast. I know you guys will mostly be watching the English dub. How do you like the performances of those voice actors I just mentioned from what you've heard in the trailer so far? I really feel these guys have come a long way since that early 1999 and 2000 dubs of Dragon Ball. Like, after having played these characters for like 20 years, I feel like you can hear the differences in their voice acting is so much better. What are you guys' thoughts on the voice acting from what you've heard?
Honestly, did you want to go first, Mediocritis? So yeah, it's still 100% top notch, and I honestly, I hope people that watch these movies and these shows appreciate how good these voice actors are. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things, like, I'm sure probably after the end of a session, their voice is probably gone, and they probably have to do more work.
I've heard Vic Mignogna, who's coming back as Broly. The Broly voice hurts his voice a lot, and from what I've heard, shout out to Geekdom 101, he mentioned that he heard Vic Mignogna is killing his voice this week because they've been dubbing in Funimation studio. It's Funimation's studio, Okotron 5000. They've been doing the voice, so Vic Mignogna naturally has a higher pitched voice, so he really has to push his voice deep down into his diaphragm and deep in his voice, and all that yelling really damages his voice. But he's going all out. I mean, like, he might not be able to talk for a month. I imagine he hasn't booked anything too heavily after this session, and he probably didn't book anything heavily going in because he knew he had to bring it. Oh my, I don't know what he's gonna do if Broly does end up becoming a recurring character. But yeah, like, if you ask him, and I met him in person back in 2010, he's like, oh, I can't do the Broly voice, it hurts my voice. So yeah, man, what you're saying, he's killing his voice in the booth just to entertain the fans. I have much respect.
Yeah, and it's always welcome to hear those old voices, and yeah, major improvements, and just honestly talking about it today with you, really just can't wait for January to come around.
Right. What about you, Mediocritis? Do you have anything you like to add on about the vocal performances?
Pretty much as usual. They all they all do a great job, and just respect for them all. Because I know I can't do my voice the way they do it, so I mean, it's a tough job, I'm sure.
Absolutely, and then the acting goes into it as well. I can speak on it as voice acting. It's just not even doing the voice, just the way you got to project the emotion and make sure the audience is feeling it. And in Dragon Ball, it's high pitch energy. So yeah. So I'm glad to see everybody showing respect. And I always feel the Japanese version also deserves respect. That's why I was saying earlier, say what you want to about Mazuko Nozawa for fans out there that dislike her or even like her voice. These are the OGs of the Dragon Ball franchise when it came to the voice acting. If they didn't get this over in Japan, this series wouldn't have become successful enough to get over the English dub. So I always felt like the Japanese version voice actors, as well as pretty much all voice actors in all countries, deserve the respect, because at the end of the day, it is Dragon Ball, and everybody works hard to make sure that everyone can get the best dub possible. Even if you sometimes get, what was it, the Malaysian dub, or just some of the other English dubs that we've had before, where what was like Pickle called like Big Green or Little Green or something like that, or the Saya people, what was it, the Saya people? If you guys seen those ones. But hey, thank you for contributing to Dragon Ball, even if if nothing else, the fans got something to laugh about years later. Or the Dragon Ball GT final bout game dub, where Cell was going like, "I'm going to give you some pleasure. Go ahead and give me pleasure."
I didn't know about that.
I'll send you guys a video when you're done. But yeah, we basically covered everything. This was a lot of fun. It would have been great if we had the Linux virus with us. And once again, I want to I've stated to you, but I want to publicly state it here. Obvious, thank you. Your words meant so much to me when you started listening to my Dragon Ball Super reviews that I started doing here on YouTube as a way to create filler content for my channel, as I'm still working on Battle of Deception, my short film. You said to me that you enjoy listening to my audio discussions, podcast style videos, because you could tell that I was a very passionate Dragon Ball fan that really cared about the franchise and wasn't doing this just because, oh, this Dragon Ball is the hottest thing going right now, let me do this and try to get as much off of it. Because as a fan who cares about this franchise for 20 years, it meant a lot for me to hear that, and one of the reasons I enjoy doing this. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for that. And great finally working with you guys on this. I definitely look forward to coming on your channel. Yeah, discussion went really great. I didn't know what I was gonna get, but I was like, I know Mediocritis has interesting opinions here, so I didn't know if she was gonna come and just bury this whole thing, or she was gonna praise it, or be in between. I had no idea what I was gonna get, but I'm like, I know it'll be interesting because I think you'll give me a alternative perspective. I even got I heard some good stuff from My Hero Academia from you, which was like,
Oh, yeah.
wow, because I'm like, last time I talked, you were like, it's the same old shonen manga. It's all shonen manga, all the same. So I look forward to having that conversation later.
It's me by surprise once I start watching it more.
This is gonna be awesome. Well, I definitely look forward to talking to you after the recording about that. But with that said in mind, this is where I give the floor for plugs. So obvious Mediocritis, go ahead and plug your social medias and YouTube.
So you guys can definitely, check out our channel. It's just called Obvious and Mediocritis on YouTube. And you can find us on Twitter as well, and Instagram. We do also have a Facebook page. We try to stay active on those, and you can definitely, get a look into our actual lives somewhat. And we still do post trailers and things for our different video game commentaries, reviews, skits, things like that. But yeah, if anyone's interested in what we do, definitely check us out.
Well said.
There we go. All right, yeah, guys, links will be in the description below. Definitely make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely I will be back with the full review once the movie's out in January. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And with that said in mind, here are my plugs. So if you obviously are a fan of Dragon Ball, shonen manga, or anime adapted from shonen manga, make sure to check out my upcoming short film, Battle of Deception, as it's based on those types of genres. I currently have lots of videos such as the teaser trailer and the behind the scene interview videos right here on my channel, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified as soon as I release more content regarding Battle of Deception, Dragon Ball, and even WWE if you are a professional wrestling fan. And make sure to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Instagram, both at SONGOSHUAKU. All links will be in the description below. Take care!